There are those of us sat behind television and laptop screens wondering if we have enough of a break between the World Cup's end and the Premier League beginning. Consider how it must feel for the players who are about to embark on another 10-month campaign having had just a month off. Even for a finely tuned athlete, the pause is short, not just from a physical perspective but mentally as well. The top 6 in the English top flight are likely to be hit most when domestic football hits play again, and it could mean several stars are given an extended break to properly recover. With that in mind, we examine which of the teams could suffer from a slow start and what their starting sides would like without their World Cup ensemble, using statistics taken from FIFA.com. Manchester City tour teams and records apart en route to their 5th league title last term, but naturally, given the quality in their ranks, they have been ripped apart by the World Cup. With 16 members of Pep Guardiola's squad featuring in Russia, no team had more representatives on duty, and, of that group, 7 were involved right to the tournament's conclusion after reaching the semi-finals. It means that despite the rich depth of talent at Guardiola's disposal, the only first-team stars who will have been afforded a proper pre-season campaign is Riyad Mahrez, Leroy Sane and Aymeric Laporte. The Catalan boss has even suggested those who are still exhausted from a near 12-month campaign take extra rest before resuming with the defending champions. But given the options elsewhere, particularly in midfield, City fans will hope the likes of Kevin De Bruyne and Raheem Sterling return to the first-team fold with haste. Despite the heavy workload for much of the squad, their start to the season is a little lighter than their rivals, with, on paper, only Arsenal on the opening day their trickiest challenge up until October. We cannot forget what we've done, but we start again. If they are ready, they'll help us, and if not, we'll wait for them. If they are not mentally and physically ready, they won't come back, Guardiola said recently. World Cup players equal 16 John Stones, 645 69.1 kilometers, Kevin De Bruyne, 540 65.4 kilometers, Kyle Walker, 495 50.2 kilometers, Raheem Sterling, 454 49.3 kilometers, Gabriel Jesus, 406 43.7 kilometers, Vincent Kompany, 376 39.7 kilometers, Nicolas Otamendi, 360 38.9 kilometers, David Silva, 327 37.5 kilometers, Bernardo Silva, 238 28.8 kilometers, Fabian Delph, 220 27.7 kilometers, Sergio Aguero, 178 19.9 kilometers, Fernandinho, 155 19.6 kilometers, Danilo, 99.6 kilometers, Ilkay Gundogan, 59 7.7 kilometers, Benjamin Mendy, 44.2 kilometers, Ederson, 0, total minutes equals 4,583, total kms equals 511.3. Chelsea Guardiola won't have much of an opportunity to reintegrate the vast majority of his squad, but at least he's not in Maurizio Sarri's position. There are 14 personalities the new Chelsea boss will quickly need to be acquainted with ahead of their league opener against Huddersfield. However, the damage to the Italians' first 11 is not quite as severe as City, although much will depend on the futures of Belgium duo Thibaut Courtois and Eden Hazard. The same notion is applied to World Cup winners N'Golo Kanté and Olivier Giroud, with all 4 linked to moves way. Granted, new faces would be brought in and Sarri would need reinforcements even despite the strength of his 11 without the World Cup stars. They do have plenty of ability in midfield through a trio of Jorginho, Timo Bakayoko and Cesc Fabregas. Even in attack, Alvaro Morata brings plenty of firepower, while defensively David Luiz and Marcos Alonso could lead a fortified backline. Again, the fixture schedule is kind, with Arsenal and Liverpool their standout tests in the first couple of months, so providing Sarri retains his leading men, they will be in good shape to survive the early goings. World Cup players equals 14 Thibaut Courtois, 630 27.6 kilometers, N'Golo Kanté, 595 68.5 kilometers, Olivier Giroud, 546 56.4 kilometers, Eden Hazard, 518 56.9 kilometers, Willian, 359 38.2 kilometers, Andreas Christensen, 306 31.9 kilometers, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, 274 29.8 kilometers, Victor Moses, 270 29 kilometers, Willy Caballero, 188.9 kilometers, Kenneth O'Meara, 179 17.5 kilometers, Michy Batshuayi, 113 12.7 kilometers, Gary Cahill, 90 10.4 kilometers, Antonio Rudiger, 99.8 kilometers, Cesar Azpilicueta, 0, total minutes equals 4,150, total kms equals 397.6. Tottenham Spurs, to be blunt, are in deep trouble. A concerning correlation of significance for both club and country means from the 6 Premier League sides examined here, none totaled more minutes, 4,816, or ran more kilometers, 515.2, than Tottenham's assets. 9 of their 12 representatives in Russia were involved right until the end, and whereas with other sides their numbers are bloated by players not necessarily considered first team, that's not the case for Mauricio Pochettino. When you add in the Argentine's philosophy is formed from an energy-sapping pressing style, the likes of Harry Kane, Kieran Trippier, Dele Alli, Eric Dyer, Jan Vertonghen and Christian Eriksen all getting significant game time for their nations could leave them jaded. The past success of this Spurs team could have dire consequences for the immediate future, because when you look at what's left, their 11 is depleted and threadbare. Add in the context of starting the season with Wembley as their home again and clashes with rivals Manchester United and Liverpool early doors, the reading is decidedly grim. Given they've yet to make a signing in this transfer window, perhaps Spurs fans would have appreciated a team of non-internationals as opposed to a side full of World Cup performers who are bound to be tired. World Cup players equals 12 Kieran Trippier, 580 67.6 kilometers, Harry Kane, 573 62.7 kilometers, Toby Alderweireld, 540 59.1 kilometers, Jan Vertonghen, 540 55.4 kilometers, Hugo Lloris, 540 25.1 kilometers, Christian Eriksen, 390 51.8 kilometers, Davinson Sanchez, 390 41.9 kilometers, Dele Alli, 364 46.2 kilometers, Son Heung-min, 270 28.7 kilometers, Eric Dyer, 248 33.5 kilometers, Danny Rose, 203 22.9 kilometers, Moussa Dembele, 178 20.3 kilometers, total minutes equals 4,816, total kms equals 515.2. Manchester United. Jose Mourinho is irate at the best of times, but this summer the Manchester United boss has been decidedly despondent. Indeed, his preparations have been decimated by the World Cup, although as you can see not quite to the extent of his belief they are the worst affected. "We are not a team," he bemoaned earlier this week. "We are a group of players from different teams. Some are first-team players, some of them are from the under-23s, some are going out on loan, some are coming back from loan, some are from the under-18s. Paul Pogba, Romelu Lukaku, Marcus Rashford, Jesse Lingard and Phil Jones are all likely to be absent for their season opener against Leicester City, but Mourinho does have a bit of depth to deal with the demise. Alexis Sanchez's visa problems won't have helped the Portuguese's mood, although the Chilean has looked sharp in pre-season, a rare luxury for the busy campaigner, so could be used in place of Lukaku as the spearhead. The reliance on Anthony Martial in their preparations will be a concern, however, given Mourinho wants to move the Frenchman on. The World Cup hangover is a headache, but when managers like Guardiola spot a solution, Mourinho only sees the problem. World Cup players equals 11 Paul Pogba 539 58.2 kilometers, Jesse Lingard 527 67.8 kilometers, Romelu Lukaku 476 41.2 kilometers, Ashley Young 462 47.9 kilometers, David De Gea 390 11.9 kilometers, Victor Lindelof 360 34.5 kilometers, Marouane Fellaini 316 39.4 kilometers, Nemanja Matic 270 35.2 kilometers, Marcos Rojo 225 23.7 kilometers, Marcus Rashford 211 25.8 kilometers, Phil Jones 180 19.1 kilometers, total minutes equals 3,956, total kms equals 404.7. Liverpool. Jurgen Klopp places huge emphasis on pre-season, because it is the only quality time he has with the squad before a punishing campaign begins. The German is a thrilling tactician who requires hours on the training ground to implement strategical tricks and traps. His famed pressing philosophy has to be mushed into the minds of Liverpool players, and they also need this time to get their fitness up to a level which allows them to press play on the heavy metal style. The World Cup can be no excuse for the Reds not to challenge for trophies this season. From the top 6, they had the joint least representatives, and from their 10, only Croatia's Dejan Lovren made it further than the quarter-finals. Granted, the front three is made up of all World Cup stars, but Daniel Sturridge has been in fine fettle during pre-season, while key signings Fabinho and Naby Keita have had ample time to assimilate. Their players ran almost half of the total of City's players in Russia, and so with West Ham, Crystal Palace, Brighton and Leicester to begin their season, Klopp's side have the opportunity to signal their title-challenging validity early on. World Cup players equals 10 Dejan Lovren 650 65.8 kilometers, Jordan Henderson 482 57.1 kilometers, Alisson 450 24.2 kilometers, Xherdan Shaqiri 351 36.7 kilometers, Sadio Mane 270 30.3 kilometers, Mohamed Salah 190 19.2 kilometers, Roberto Firmino 82 12.6 kilometers, Trent Alexander-Arnold 79 8.2 kilometers, Simon Mignolet 0, Marko Grujic 0, total minutes equals 2,554, total kms equals 254.1. Arsenal. This is said through hushed tones, but do not sleep on Arsenal this season. The squad has been left virtually unscathed by the World Cup, with only Mesut Ozil and Granit Xhaka, the first-team regulars from last season, eliminated from the 11. New signings Lucas Torreira and Stefan Lichtsteiner have a shorter betting-in period, but Uruguay and Switzerland respectively didn't go too deep in Russia, so they will be available for the latter part of preparations anyway. The defense is untouched. Henrikh Mkhitaryan, Aaron Ramsey, Alexander Lacazette and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang provide the gun and bullets. In Emery they have a coach who is set to employ a more direct style of football with a balanced squad to bring it to life. The downside? The start of their season is tough as they face Manchester City and Chelsea first up, but as you can see, they are two of the most depleted sides, and with Arsenal at near full strength even without their World Cup members, the Gunners could profit. Fatigue is a factor for every side in the top 6 aside from Arsenal and Liverpool going into the new season. World Cup players equals 10 David Ospina 390 14.2 kilometers, Granit Xhaka 360 43.7 kilometers, Lucas Torreira 304 36.7 kilometers. Stefan Lichtsteiner 267 30.5 kilometers, Mohamed Al-Neni 244 29.6 kilometers, Mesut Ozil 180 20.2 kilometers, Joel Campbell 114 11.9 kilometers, Alex Iwobi 64 7.8 kilometers, Danny Welbeck 11 1.8 kilometers, Nacho Monreal 0, total minutes equals 1,934, total kms equals 196.4.